Afriza. Assalamualaikum. Dr. Hafaz. Dr. Hafaz.
Okay, salam Dr. Latifah.
Yeah.
How are you?
Fine, Alhamdulillah. Dr. Hafaz, dia punya background tu, it looks like ni kan? Should I off?
Not here.
Yeah. So I think I cannot. We tried, but I think we could not. Ni lah. Apa? Something.
Yeah.
So is it okay?
I think it's better not to put it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, this one is, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Like this is okay.
Okay. How are you, Dr. Hafaz?
Alhamdulillah, fine.
Alhamdulillah. Okay lah. Thank you for inviting. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Dr. Latifah. I think you know already Dr. Sultan Emir, right?
No.
He's now in KMKS as one of the directors.
Oh, Masya Allah.
Also, IUM graduates.
Masya Allah. Dr.
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Latifah.
Waalaikumsalam. Yeah. I think I've seen you before, eh? I've met you before. Yeah, I think, yeah, I've met.
I am the IBF graduate.
Masya Allah. IIUM graduate, eh? Same like Dr. Hafaz, yeah?
Dr. Hafaz is my role model, actually.
Masya Allah. Masya Allah.
Yes, Masya Allah.
Yeah. Tabarakallah.
Now he's one of the rising star of IUM graduates.
Yeah.
In Indonesia.
Masya Allah. Good. A lot of UIA students in Indonesia, yeah?
Yeah.
Masya Allah, Alhamdulillah. And we miss IIUM, actually.
IIUM, huh? Yeah. You can come. When you come to Malaysia, you can also visit our university, insyaAllah. Dr. Hafaz also never been to our university, right? International Islamic University of Selangor, College Selangor?
Yeah, not yet.
So maybe you should come one day, insyaAllah.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Ustaz Ali Jinnah is there now, right?
Yeah. He's no longer in this university. He went to ISRA and then now he's pursuing his PhD.
Okay.
So.
And now come back to quiz now.
No, sometimes I will invite him for talk also.
Oh, okay.
He's no longer in quiz lah. He resigned from quiz and then he went to ISRA.
Yeah, sure. We are together in ISRA.
Yeah, and then once then he resigned from ISRA. Then I think now he's doing his own consultancy, I guess.
Yeah.
Dr. Hafaz, Chapra is still in IRTI?
Yes.
Chapra?
Still. Yeah, still.
I think we can do also like like Zoom, like talk from Prof. Chapra, Dr. Chapra, eh?
Yeah, if we can. I think now, Zoom is no problem, I think.
Yeah. I tried to call him last week. But then no one picked up the phone in IRTI.
Of course, they were no longer, I think they were not in office.
Yeah. I don't know how to contact him lah. And then I emailed him, it bounced back. I think it's a very good opportunity, if we can make him live on.
I think we can try through Sajad, Brother Sajad.
Brother Sajad, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I have his number. I'll try to contact him, inshallah.
So many people also are moving from IRTI.
Yeah, because of the new director.
I'm not sure. They moved to Turkey. Dr. Abdul Qadir Shashi. They moved to Istanbul.
Yeah. So I think, since Prof. Kafa is no longer there, Malaysians also are no longer in IRTI, kan? Not much Malaysians also. Indonesia, still any attachment in IRTI?
We have Dr. Hilmun.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. So how many participants for today?
We are expecting more than 100 participants. About 200.
About 200,
Yeah.
Registered 200.
No, registered 500 actually.
Subhanallah, really? Seriously?
Yeah.
I am nervous.
No problem.
Just want to
From
ask Dr. Hafaz, on the 23rd that you are going to present on definition of Islamic economics, right?
yes.
So you are at the end of the talk, are you going to give the definition, or you are just going to say that the definition is supposed to be like whatever you wrote in the paper?
You know, in my paper, I argued that the current definition is also tentative, even though I've tried to classify, but there is no clear consensus among the scholars. So even if I give one definition, it will be also another tentative definition.
Yeah.
But we have to try. At the end, the scientific communities will choose which definitions will be, they will agree on.
We agree that when you say that it's supposed to be in the boundaries of the field, we see that one we agree lah. Maybe we can share the definition. We also came up with the based on.
I tried to come up with the definition of Islamic economics. Yeah.
Okay.
I will propose also.
Maybe we can combine and see. We can have it one
Yes, to get response.
At least we have one so that it is applicable.
Yes.
Like most of the scholars, very philosophical. I mean, the students to able to understand too is quite difficult. So we try to simplify lah kalau boleh kan, insyaAllah.
Operational.
Operational, yes. How to operationalize so that it's simple, student able to understand.
Yes.
Currently, my center, we are conducting a research on Islamic economics game.
Game?
Yeah.
Is it a play?
Yeah. On the concept of Islamic economics. We are developing so that student be able to understand in the application part. We are trying to develop because now we don't see any Islamic economics game. I mean in terms of like application side tu kan. At least like it's not like game lah. It's like some sort like macam mana? Apps like we have a storyline, then they have to choose the best answer.
Yeah. I think you have to share it one day with us.
Inshallah. We are in the process of completing the research. Inshallah, in 2 or 3 months, we will try to. Who are
the team to develop this game?
Pardon?
Who are in the team to develop this game?
From my university, Dr. Shahida also is in this game. I think the one that I know in my team is only Dr. Shahida. And my IRSIF team, my center. We have a research team in our center.
IRSIF is under the rectors or under the dean?
Under the deputy rector of academic and research.
Okay.
Under the deputy rector lah. My superior is deputy rector of academic and research, and then the second superior is rector.
Wow, that means you have very big power, and also maybe big allocation of fund from the university.
If they see, they will. I think they will see what we call that. Whether whatever research that we do, contributes or not tu ni kan. They also choose what research they want to allow, to give fund for. But we have matching. If you are interested, maybe we can have matching grant.
Yeah, sure. We were thinking also about this matching grant because we have done it with the UUM.
Yeah. We can have, if you have any idea or we have idea, I think we need you also we consider you as one of the Islamic economic scholars. Inshallah. So
we can do it both sides. I mean, here also we can appoint you to be one of our fellows maybe.
Yeah, but I think my knowledge on Islamic economics compared to you, you are far. I think the difference, like for me, application in terms of application, like implementation, I try.
Yeah, mine is just like people telling stories.
But at least you have knowledge. When you know,
it is not knowledge; it is story.
When we what we call that? When we complement each other, inshallah, maybe we can develop this. Currently the Islamic economics, we didn't start yet, right? We start already, not yet, right?
Yeah, we are going to start. I think Prof. Mahagir is here already. Prof. Mahagir is here already, right? Afriza?
Sebentar.
Can we call Prof. Mahagir?
Mahagir.
Yeah, from Iran.
Okay.
Not ready yet.
Not yet.
Tapi ini sebentar.
Dr. Emir is already.
Yang ini apa namanya?
Is leaving, so he will join us back.
Okay, inshallah. Inshallah.
Shall we wait for Dr. Emir?
Because I'm just discussing about Islamic economics, and I'm not sure whether we started already. Discussion. So maybe we can that, inshallah, we will discuss further on Islamic economics. Inshallah. Share knowledge.
Okay. Inshallah.
I will add in your name under we have a network, Islamic economics network. Maybe I can add you.
Is it the one that Dr. Shahida is developing? Inis, right?
No,
or different?
Yeah. Different. So this is like the session that we have last time when Dr. Mustafa present, and then now you're presenting, revisiting the Islamic economics.
Yeah.
We will see how, inshallah.
Yeah, we have already 178 participants joining.
178?
Yeah. We will wait for Dr. Sultan Emir to come back again, and then we'll start because he is the first speaker.
Oh, okay, inshallah. Inshallah.
Afriza, can we start?
Assalamualaikum.
Ya, waalaikumsalam. Udah sampai rumah nih, Pak Emir.
Hah?
Masih di jalan atau sudah sampai ke rumah?
Belum, masih di jalan.
Oke.
Maaf.
Ini kita mau mulai mungkin dalam 2 menit ya.
Siap, siap. Insyaallah bisa.
Oke.
Nanti tolong ditampilkan slide saya nanti ya, Dr. Abbas. Insyaallah.
Oke. Ya, Pak Afriza tolong tampilin nanti slide Pak Emir ya. Pak Afriza, Dr. Muhakik udah siap atau belum? Kalau sudah siap kita bisa mulai ini.
Pak Hafaz, Assalamualaikum. Ya, masih kita coba selesaikan permasalahan mungkin jaringan karena ini ke negara beliau ya. Tapi saya juga kurang tahu secara teknik kenapa bisa seperti ini.
Tapi nama Prof Muhakik sudah muncul nih di layar.
Namanya sudah muncul. Ya, enggak ada lain.
Okay, Dr. Emi, we'll wait for the IT teams to solve the problem.
No issue, Dr. Abbas. Don't worry.
Because we just know that in Iran, Zoom is, I think, is banned in Iran.
Yeah.
So Prof Muhakik is now trying. We try to connect with another facilities to connect to Prof Muhakik. So why we choose Indonesia, Malaysia, and Iran? Because in Global Islamic Finance Report in 2019, so these are the three big countries in Islamic economic and finance. So Indonesia is currently in the first rank, and then Malaysia is in the second, then Iran is in the third.
Correct.
So that is the latest development. So we try to see how these countries develop Islamic economic and finance, and what are the impacts to the other Muslim countries. We'll wait for Prof Muhakik.
Ini gelap ya? Assalamualaikum Pak Hafaz.
Salam.
Okay, we started right now, Mr. Markik.
Sure.
Started and come gradually, inshallah, after a few minutes, inshallah.
Yes, I think we can start, Afriza. Please start.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillah walhamdulillah wala hawla wala quwata illa billahil aliyil azim. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali sayyidina Muhammad kama shallaita ala sayyidina Ibrahim wa ala ali sayyidina Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidum Majid. First of all, I would like to acknowledge our honorable and beloved speakers and presenters today. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge Dr. Latifa Bibi binti Muzaffar Hamid for giving us the blessing today. Inshallah, will be beneficial for all of our community around the world. And secondly, I would like to acknowledge Dr. Sultan Emir Hidayat. Thank you, sir. And my acknowledgement next to Professor Dr. Muhammad Jawad Muhaqiq Nia, our honorable presenter from Islamic Republic of Iran. And lastly, I would like to acknowledge our beloved brothers, scholars, and master here in our university, Mr. Dr. Hafaz Furqani. I won't take more of your time here. I would like to please Dr. Hafaz Furqani to give his speech as our opening remark today. Please.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Afriza Salahuddin as our moderator for today's webinar. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Thanks to the organizers, thanks to Islamic Economics Department of Faculty of Islamic Economics and Business, University Islam Negeri AR-RANIRY Banda Aceh. This is the first international webinar we have so far, and we will discuss about a very important topics on Islamic economics and finance development in selected Muslim countries. So we're glad to have three prominent speakers in this webinar. We have Dr. Sultan Emir Hidayat. He's in KNKS, Komite Nasional Ekonomi dan Keuangan Syariah, or Islamic Economics and Finance National Committees in Indonesia. And also we have Dr. Latifa Bibi Muzaffar Hamid from IRSIF, College University Islam Selangor, Malaysia, who will speak about the development in Malaysia. And we have also Professor Muhammad Jawad Muhaqiq Nia, who will speak about the latest development in Islamic economics and finance in Iran. So we have we choose these three countries to discuss about Islamic economics and finance because the current report on the development of Islamic economy and finance in the world published in GIFR, Global Islamic Finance Report 2019, position Indonesia, Malaysia, and Iran as three biggest countries that have influence in Islamic economics and finance development. So Indonesia currently is number one in terms of ranking with score 81.93. Yeah. And then Malaysia is in the second, 81.05, and then Iran 79.03. So of course, Indonesia is for the first time is in this ranking published by GIFR, because in the report is mentioned that Indonesia, so many progress done by Indonesia. So one of the reason for this is that because of these new bodies found by the government, in which Dr. Sultan Emir is one of its directors, KNKS, Komite Nasional Ekonomi dan Keuangan Syariah. So Indonesia, for 30 years, known as one of the country that has an approach in developing Islamic economy and finance, bottom-up approach, which means that government put less initiative in developing Islamic economy and finance in the country. But in the past 3 years or in the past 5 years, maybe, we see some changes, whereby the government of Indonesia now, following other countries such as Malaysia and Middle East, becomes very proactive in developing Islamic economy and finance in the country. Yeah, so Indonesia currently produce so many regulations, law in Islamic economy and finance, and set up some government bodies to regulate the industry and put it in the right direction. So maybe because of that, Indonesia is currently in the Global Islamic Finance Report 2019 becomes the first or the #1 country in the ranking. And not to mention Malaysia, also a long time known as one of the leaders in Islamic economic finance, and Iran also, which apply a single, I think, Islamic financial system, the only one in the world. And we see also some many progress in Morocco, for example. Morocco now in the top 20 in Muslim countries that have a very good development in Islamic economic finance. Previously, Morocco is in the 48. Now it is in 19. And Brunei also. Brunei from ranking 14 now becomes number 6 in the world. So we have seen so many progress, but we want also to listen from the representative of each countries. What are the level of development currently in Malaysia, Indonesia, and Iran, and what are the issues that we are facing so far? Of course, each country will have to face different problems. And maybe we can also share how these countries tackle the issues. And for that we are lucky to have these 3 prominent speakers to discuss the issues. I think we will not miss this session until the end of the speaker's speech. And on behalf of the leaders, on behalf of the Dean in Faculty of Islamic Economic and Business, State Islamic University AR-RANIRY Banda Aceh, I would like now to open officially this international webinar on Islamic economic and finance in Muslim countries by reciting Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much. Have a very nice discussion for today. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much. Our Vice Dean of Islamic State University of AR-RANIRY Banda Aceh, Mr. Dr. Hafaz Furqani. And dear brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, let's move to next program. Especially, we will have 3 prominent speakers today, as I have said before, previously. And exceptionally for Dr. Sultan Emir Hidayat, because of his traffic of program today, we would have our Q&A session, especially for him, immediately after his speech later, inshallah. So we would like to please Dr. Sultan Emir Hidayat to give his speech and Q&A session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Afrizal and Mr. Moderator and Dr. Hafaz Furqani, my role model, to be honest, when we were together in IUM for PhD time, and I always look at the as one of the best researchers that Indonesia has for Islamic economy. If you don't mind, can you please share my slide?
Okay, we'll do it. Afriza, please help us in sharing the slide.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about Islamic economy and finance in Muslim country, especially Indonesia's development and direction. Is it clear? Yeah. Can you move to the next slide, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, about the ranking, the next slide. Yeah, this one. Yeah, as it has been mentioned by Dr. Hafaz, Alhamdulillah, last year, our country, Indonesia, has been recognized by many global Islamic economy publishers as one of the countries with big jump in terms of ranking in the report. For example, first, if according to the Global Islamic Finance Report published by Cambridge Institute of Islamic Finance, Alhamdulillah, we have been put at number 1, along with Malaysia, Iran. It is already mentioned by Dr. Hafaz. Yeah, we got 70, slightly higher score, yeah, which is 81.93, and then Malaysia 81, and Iran 79. Also in other reports, for example, like in the Global Islamic Economy Report 2019-2020, published by Dinar Standard, we jumped from position number 10 in 2018 into number 5 in 2019, Alhamdulillah. However, when we look at the 6 categories or segments, which are halal food, modest fashion, media and recreation, Muslim-friendly travel, pharmaceutical and cosmetics, and Islamic finance, Indonesia is only ranked in the top 10 in 3 categories. In modest fashion, we know that our women, they are very creative. In Indonesia, we know we have 99 ways of wearing hijab. You cannot find in other countries such creativity. And also, we are in the top 10 for Muslim-friendly travel. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, especially we know Lombok and other, Aceh, which include also Aceh. They are actually favorite destination for Muslim travelers. And in Islamic finance, we are ranked in number 5. Also, according to Islamic finance development indicators published by ICD, International Corporation Development of IDB, subsidiary of IDB, and Refinitiv, we also jumped from number 10 in 2018 to number 4 in 2019. Also in Global Muslim Travel Index, we are ranked at number 1 together with Malaysia as one of the best Muslim destination for traveling. Alhamdulillah. So those achievements need to be appreciated, and we are thankful for that, but we should not be complacent because our potential is more than our current situation, inshallah. Next slide, please. Yeah. In the next slide, we will find that regularly Indonesia is conducting halal award. Like for example, in 2019, during Indonesia's Islamic Festival, LPPOM Majelis Ulama Indonesia, which is the research arm of Majelis Ulama Indonesia, conducted Halal Award 2019, and many halal top brands were awarded during that time. And some of them are actually products of multinational companies, such as Unilever, for example. We know that in Indonesia, almost all Unilever products are already halal certified. For example, when you want to use your toothpaste, Pepsodent is already halal certified. And even they have a specific halal brand for cosmetic, which is called Namira. In other brands, for example, we know Indomie very well, the world's biggest instant noodle. It is also awarded as halal top brand. Bimoli, but there is a specific brand which is very well known as halal brand, which is Wardah, for example. Now these are now, alhamdulillah, becoming more in the society. People started to realize the importance of halal. So now they are more aware of halal things now. Next slide, please. Yeah, but it's always criticized, especially by our vice president, which is the CEO of KNEKS. Yeah, our vice president always mentioned we need to be producers, not consumers. So far, in terms of our export to oil countries, we still behind Malaysia, UAE, and Saudi Arabia. Though in terms of economy, we are the biggest Muslim country in terms of economy as well. In G20, among the G20 countries, Indonesia is the biggest among the OIC countries in terms of GDP. And halal industry has very big potential in Indonesia. The first one, if we look at the contribution of halal industry into gross domestic product, in 2018, it contributed to USD 3.8 billion. While total spending of Indonesians to halal services and products, it is estimated to be around 218.8 billion US dollar and expected to grow at the rate 5.3% until 2025. And one of the three for halal lifestyle. And also, in terms of education and research, alhamdulillah, we know that in Indonesia, there are many universities that are offering Islamic economics related programs. One of them is actually UIN AR-RANIRY in Aceh. And of course, there are still some issues. For example, like of curriculum of Islamic finance and economics program in Indonesia, it is still considered to be the graduate of the program are still lacking in critical and technical analysis needed by the industry. This is according to the industry. And in terms of human resources, though currently there are around 61,000 human resources working in Islamic banking, but still we need more human resources to fill up the industry needs. So there are three factors that can contribute to successful human resources development. Number one, to design a curriculum that can meet the weight of Islamic banking and pure banking, recruit qualified lecturers in the fields of pure economics and Islamic economics, and Islamic universities must promote research on human resources so that the results of this research can be beneficial to industrial development. Next slide, please. Yeah. Another challenge that we are still facing is actually financial literacy. Although it is improving in terms of economic literacy, but for financial literacy, unfortunately, the increase is insignificant. If we look here, in 2016, according to Financial Services Authority survey, the Islamic financial literacy in Indonesia stood at 8.1%, which means from 100 Indonesians, around 8 of them are well literate with Islamic financial products. In 2019, OJK again conducted the same survey and it increased to 8.93%, which means from 100 Indonesian, 9% only they are well literate of Islamic financial products. So that's why we need to improve the situation. However, when Bank Indonesia, the central bank, conducted another literacy survey, which is called Islamic Economic Literacy, the result is better because people are aware of Islamic social fund services. So in total, for Islamic economic literacy, it stood at 16.3% for well literate and 27.2% sufficient literate. So around 40 something percent Indonesian are actually quite aware of Islamic economic products. But for finance, there is still problem. Next slide, please. The government is trying its best actually to improve the situation. We know the government realized that Islamic economy can be one of the ways to improve and enhance a national economy. That's why the government create a very high-level committee, which is called National Committee for Islamic Economy and Finance, or in Indonesian language called Komite Nasional Ekonomi dan Keuangan Syariah. Yeah. This committee is directly chaired by our president, His Excellency Mr. Joko Widodo, and our vice president is actually the deputy chairman, but at the same time, he is also the daily chairman or the CEO of this committee. Yeah. And then there are around 15 ministers and head of agencies are part of this committee. They become commissioners of this committee. And the secretary of this committee is Minister of Finance, Her Excellency Sri Mulyani Indrawati, PhD. To run the committee on daily basis, the government formed an executive management team, which consists of 6 directors, which is chaired by executive director. And there are 5 directors under him, under the executive director. This is the team that run the committee on daily basis. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. The National Committee has function actually to expand and advance the development of Islamic economy and finance in order to strengthen the national economic resilience. And there are 4 scope of the jobs of KNIKS. The first one is to develop halal industry. Our Vice President, Professor Ma'ruf Amin, always says that we don't want to become consumers, but we want to become producers of halal products and services. In order to support the halal industry, we need to develop and strengthen our Islamic financial industry. We hope that Islamic finance will support or will finance the development of halal industry. So we don't want only halal supply chains, but we want to create halal value chain. In addition to that, we hope also we can optimize Islamic social funds, namely zakah, infak, sadaqah, and wakaf, especially during the pandemic of COVID-19 that we are facing currently. And also, we don't want only to create the vehicles, but we need to fill up the vehicle with people, yeah, who are inside the vehicle. So always our Vice President said, we need to strengthen our micro, small, and medium enterprises, especially those who are running their business in halal industry. So therefore, we need to develop and expand our Islamic business activities. So our job is to provide recommendation, to coordinate and synchronize and synergize all the stakeholders of Islamic economy in the country, and to formulate and provide recommendation for any problems within Islamic economy and finance sector, and also to supervise and evaluate the implementation of the policy and the strategic programs that we already decided. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, this is the milestone of Indonesian Islamic economy development. In 2015, when we were trapped by 5% market share of Islamic banking at the time, Indonesian government requested National Planning Development Agency, Bappenas, to create a study or to conduct a study why Indonesia cannot get out from 5% trap. So Bappenas, along with one of reputable international consultant, conducted a study and came out with a master plan, which is called Master Plan of Islamic Financial Architecture in Indonesia. But the focus at the time was to improve Islamic finance, not Islamic economy. One of the recommendations from the master plan is Indonesia needs to create a high-level committee that can coordinate, synergize all stakeholders' effort in order to speed up the development of Islamic finance at the time. And that recommendation was taken by the president in 2016. It was wrong, not January 2019, it's wrong. In 2016, National Committee of Islamic Finance was formed by the president. But then, during the plenary meeting, the president, as the chairman of National Committee or KNKS, had an ambition for Indonesia not only to develop Islamic finance, but also to develop Islamic economy, broader area, which include in the halal industry. Therefore, from 2018, the government requested Bappenas and also KNKS to start the preparation of the second master plan, which is called Master Plan of Islamic Economy, or known as MEXI 2019-2024, which also includes MEXI inside, or the Islamic finance inside. And this MEXI was launched in May 2019 by the president, and we are at the executive management of KNIKS created another document which is called implementation plan, which is detailing MEXI, because MEXI is very broad. Yeah, there are many things there, but what are to be done first? Let's say what to be done in 2020, what to be done in 2021. So we are at the executive management along with other stakeholders through several FGDs. We came out with implementation plan. So we already know what to do in 2020, 2021, 2022 until 2024. Next slide, please. Yeah, the master plan has Indonesia's vision, Islamic economics vision, which is to be an independent, prosperous, and civilized country by becoming the world's leading Islamic economic center. So we want to be the global hub by 2024. And the documents, the master plan has 4 strategies. The first one, strengthening halal value chain and strengthening Islamic finance, strengthening micro, small, and medium enterprises. Why? Because most of the MSMEs are conducted by Muslim, and they are by default actually halal industry players. And we want to strengthen also our digital economy. Next slide. So this is the theme for the implementation plan. In 2020, we want to form a solid foundation for the development of Islamic economy. And in 2021, it is the continuity of the foundation and the acceleration of the implementation of the main programs. In 2022, we are expecting to achieve some initiative, especially to have digital ecosystem by utilizing and leveraging information technology. And we hope by 2023, we will have an integrative and efficient system. And by 2024, we achieve our vision to be the global Islamic economy and financial hub. Next slide, please. Inside the implementation plan, there are actually 47 strategic initiatives in total, comprising 11 strategic initiatives related to halal industry, 8 strategic initiatives related to Islamic finance, 11 strategic initiatives related to Islamic social funds, zakah, infak, sadaqah, wakaf, and others, around 10 strategic initiatives related to supporting ecosystem in the form of promotion, laws, regulation, and literacy, and also around 7 strategic initiatives related to human resources and research. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah, this one. Yeah, for halal industry, the development focus consists of 3 things. The first one, Indonesia wants to have halal industry clusters as important contributors to the national economy. The second one, we want to develop halal assurance system that is comprehensive to support the acceleration of national halal product. And we want major contribution of halal industry to the national trade balance on leading sectors. So what will be the achievement or the targets? The first one, we need to establish several halal industrial zones. Some of them are already starting. The second one, halal certification program for export products and halal traceability. And we want to have halal port. And inshallah, we want to increase, we want to establish national halal inspection agency. And of course, though it is still impacted by the COVID-19, we still consider halal tourism as one of our potential. And don't forget, we want also to establish Islamic health industry. We have several Sharia compliant hospital already in the country, and we want to develop more, inshallah. And one of them is in Aceh, inshallah. And we want to modernize halal slaughtering houses. So the halal traceability can start from the slaughtering houses. And we want to make halal certification easy for micro and small businesses in Indonesia. Next slide, please. In terms of Islamic finance, our focus will be to strengthen the capacity, governance, and infrastructure of the Islamic financial industry. We want also to strengthen capital and financing of the Islamic economy and financial industry. Among the targets are, we want to have the National Halal Fund during these 5 years, which can support the development of halal industry. And we want to have also long-term Sharia compliant long-term funds in the form of Islamic Social Security Employment Services. And we know Aceh will soon implement Qanun. So we want to make sure that the Qanun in Aceh will be implemented smoothly. And of course, we want to have a dedicated Islamic investment bank. In Indonesia, there is, until not today, there is no full-fledged Islamic investment bank in the country. And we want, it is already heard by the government, in which we want to have a strong Islamic bank. That's why economic banking consolidation, and it's going on now. The state-owned banks, the state-owned Islamic banks, inshallah will be merged, and the target will be by the beginning of 2020, and we will have a strong and quite big size Islamic bank soon, inshallah. And we want to strengthen also the Islamic insurance industries and also development of Islamic pension funds. Next slide, please. Next slide. Halo? Bisa dengar aku, Mas? Halo? Yeah. In terms of social funds, Islamic social funds, we need to realize the improve the management of zakah, infak, sadaqah that are transformative for the national development, and to come out with sustainable Islamic microfinancing in order to improve the welfare of the low-income people and to increase Islamic financial inclusion. And we know that financial inclusion is still an issue for us, especially for Islamic finance. That's why our target is to transform Zakah, charity, and national arms management, in which we want to implement regional-based Zakah management. It's a bit too long if I have to explain it here. And of course, we want also to optimize national Wakaf management and also to create a sustainable Islamic microfinance institution. We want again to revamp the BMT and other Islamic microfinance institution, and to expand and strengthen the Islamic boarding school based Islamic financial services network. Next slide. In terms of Islamic business activity, we want to develop MSMEs that are competitive, not only locally, but also can go global, can produce, can export their products, especially the halal industry products. And of course, we need to digitalize Islamic businesses and to create and strengthen halal MSMEs through leading sectors. And some of the targets are to foster and enhance the national halal business scale, to facilitate MSMEs to raise financing through corporate sukuk. Our sovereign sukuk is already active, but for corporate sukuk, we are still like, we need to improve it. That's why, and we need to facilitate the MSMEs as well. And to create an incubation of halal product exporter and partnership with large businesses, and to accelerate the digitalization of the MSMEs, and to establish the Indonesian One Data Center for the Islamic economy. Next. Yeah. Before that, sorry. Yeah. Of course, we need to create the supporting ecosystem or enablers. Yeah. We need to improve the financial literacy, and we want also to harmonize the regulation, laws and regulation related to Islamic economy in the country. We want to strengthen the human resources and to achieve better global competitiveness index, and to improve the quality and quantity of halal science research and development, especially to come out with locally based products, import substitute, and to come with a technology such as halal rapid assessment tools, which are necessary for micro and small and medium enterprises. So our program, we will come out a national brand for Islamic economy, and we want to also to improve Islamic economy and financial literacy, and to create a working group to harmonize the regulation of related to Islamic economy in the country, and to conduct halal science research that can come out with new products, substitute for import and substitute for non-halal ingredients. And of course, to create superior human resources. Last, next slide, please. The last one. Yeah. This is the ecosystem that we want to create in Indonesia. In the middle are actually the MSMEs, because MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises, consist of 99.9% of businesses in Indonesia, and mostly are Muslim. So we want to upscale their life from becoming mustahik, the recipients of zakah, and then through Islamic Social Fund, they will transform into above the poverty line, and they become ultra micro businesses, in which they still need some of fund from social fund, but some funds can be obtained also from commercial finance. And then as the company is getting bigger, let's say to micro business, the role of Islamic microfinance here is very important in the form of Baitul Mal wa Tamwil, Bank Wakaf Mikro, and others. And as they are getting bigger, let's say they become small business, and then commercial finance of them, and when they become medium and a big corporation, and then pure commercial finance will serve them. And we want to create halal industry, and we want to support the halal industry. And of course, we need all the enablers down. So maybe that is my presentation so far. Maybe we can continue with Q&A session. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Sultan Emir Hidayat. And we will open Q&A session right now. But surely I would like to read some the question which were given by our attendants today. Okay, the first question, sir. Assalamualaikum, Mr. Emir.
Yes, Waalaikumsalam.
The question, sir. What is Islamic means for Indonesia government? Is it enough just developing Islamic finance with all its instruments to comprehensively and fully adopt Islamic economics? What else Indonesia government should do or could do? Thank you, sir.
Yeah. If I understand the question properly, the question wants ask about what it means by Islamic. That one, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir. First, what Islamic economic means for Indonesia government?
Yeah. So, you know, the Islamic economy, according to the dinner standard, it covers many aspects, not only Islamic finance. Islamic finance is only one of the aspects there. We have halal food and beverage. We have Muslim fashion. We have halal tourism or Muslim-friendly tourism. We have halal pharmaceutical and cosmetics. And we have halal media. And also Islamic finance, of course. So in Indonesian government want to develop that one. Want to develop all sectors or all segments of the Islamic economy. And Islamic finance, we hope Islamic finance will support the real economy and especially the halal industry. So we want to have a linkage between Islamic finance and halal industry. So that's why our master plan, it's called Master Plan of Islamic Economy 2019-2024.
Okay. That was the second part of the question, I think, sir. So this is the last part. What else Indonesian government should do or could do?
Could do?
Yes.
Yeah. So the establishment of National Committee of Islamic Finance is actually one of the things that the government has done. And you know, this committee is unique. There is no 100% counterpart for this committee. In Malaysia, they have JKKI, Jawatan Kuasa Khas Keuangan Islam. But that is focusing on Islamic finance only, number one. Number two, it is chaired only by Deputy Finance Minister. This is number one. And number two. So in other countries, there is similar committee. It's called Dubai Islamic Economy and Finance Development Center. However, Dubai is not a country. Dubai is an emirate within United Emirates. So it is a kind of province for us, or state. So it is not the same because for us, KNEKS or KNEKS in Indonesia, it is national at the national level. So what the government has done by creating the KNEKS, it is something which is extraordinary, and it is proven by the jump in Indonesia's ranking in 2019. Alhamdulillah. But of course, it is not enough. The programs that I mentioned to you are actually KNEKS programs. So if we can realize all those programs, inshallah, our vision to have Indonesia as an independent, prosperous, and civilized country by becoming one of the global hubs of Islamic economy in the world, inshallah, will be achieved, inshallah. And of course, as a consequence, inshallah, also the welfare of the people, Indonesian people, inshallah, will be enhanced.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. The question was asked by Brother Lonnie Henry. So let's move to the second question. This question presented by Dr. Awang Darmawan MM. Thank you for the presentation. I want to ask some questions. First, how the role and support of the government toward the development of the Islamic economy after the election of Ma'ruf Amin as Vice President? The second, what is the role of government in the development of halal tourism in Indonesia?
Thank you. After our current Vice President, Professor K. Haji Ma'ruf Amin was sworn in as our Vice President, he directly took a step to upgrade National Committee of Islamic Finance before to become National Committee of Islamic Economy and Finance. Dari Komite Nasional Keuangan Syariah menjadi Komite Nasional Ekonomi dan Keuangan Syariah. Another big step that he took before, yes, the president was the chairman of KNKS. However, president is busy. He doesn't have time. He cannot focus on KNKS that much. When Professor Ma'ruf Amin became the vice president, it took 4 months for him to convince the president to choose him or to elect him as the daily chairman of KNKS. So almost every week, we are coordinating with the vice president's team, sometimes with him directly, yeah, and he is fully aware of what's going on. So this is what he has done, and he's monitoring us. He makes sure that our programs are moving, and he either by him directly or by his team. So this is what he has done. Related to halal tourism, in the now, of course, now this is something which is setback also. Inshallah, we want to come. To push it again. In the past, we have National Halal Tourism Acceleration Team within Ministry of Tourism. However, at the moment, that team is no longer there. But now, the vice president still wants to develop the halal tourism. What we can do now is to motivate the provinces. We identify several provinces in Indonesia, which include Aceh, as the potential provinces for the development of halal tourism. And we want to motivate the governments for this. Of course, during pandemic, it will be quite difficult for this. But in the long term, tourism is needed. So we come out together with a consultant. I cannot mention the name here. I don't want to promote. We are now preparing some kind of index, which are completing the previous index. Soon will be released. We are expecting by the end of this year. Hopefully the situation is getting better. The index will give like a rank to the provinces who are the best for halal tourism and what are the factors that are measured. And if a province want to improve its ranking, it is very clear that what the province can do. Yeah, there are several components such as access, environment, services, communication, many aspects. I cannot explain it in details here. So and if he wants to improve, so he needs to increase those variables. So this is what we are doing now related to tourism.
Okay, thank you, sir. The last question, but I would like to apologize to all of our attendances here. Maybe not all question supposed to be asked to Mr. Sultan, Maybe we can guide it to the other presenter later, inshallah. So this question, I think, is interesting question. How can KNEKS and Directorate Syariah could coordinate each other to avoid mismanagement and miscoordination between each other? Because the institution are relatively new. So what the differences authority among the other institutions? Thank you, sir.
Can you repeat again, because not that clear for me?
So
sorry.
How can KNEKS and Directorate Syariah could coordinate with each other to avoid mismanagement and miscoordination?
Because maybe I'm from mobile, yeah. That's why it's not that clear.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I heard is, how can we coordinate, right?
Yeah.
Stakeholders. Maybe this one. Yeah. This is what you mean.
Okay.
That's what it means. You know that KNEKS has 16 commissioners, and all of them are actually ministers and head of. So KNEKS is not the executive. So when, let's for example,
yes, sir.
Our chairman, which is Professor Ma'ruf Amin, will coordinate with the 16 members, which are the ministers, what can be done in their ministries. For example, recently, Ministry of Trade and Commerce came out with the license and guidelines on how to establish halal economic zone, kawasan industri halal. So, alhamdulillah, this is one of the programs in which the KNEKS is promoting, and through its member, Minister of Trade and Commerce, they Minister Industry, they came out with this license, kawasan industri halal.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, this is an example how we coordinate.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Sultan Emir Hidayat, and thank you for the questions. And maybe we can move to the other presenter.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And I would like to apologize that I have to leave early because I have other things to do. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Thank you very much, Dr. Hapas, and my salam to all of you. And again, so sorry to leave early.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, next we would like to please Dr. Latifah Bibi binti Muzaffar to give her speech regarding our webinar today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for inviting me as one of the speaker. And also, I'm glad to hear the comprehensive presentation from the previous presenter. Okay, now I will present from the context of Malaysia. Yeah, I think mine is not as comprehensive as a previous speaker, but generally, this is what, like, from our center, International Islamic Research and Islamic Economics and Finance, IRSIF, involved in the certain projects, yeah, that relate to the development of Islamic finance in Malaysia. Yeah, okay. So my topic for today is the complementary roles of three sector model, solutions for Malaysian economic development from the context of Islamic economics. So this presentation I did with two of my colleagues, Sir Ahmad Fatin and also Ms. Saadia Abdul Karim. Okay, can we go to the next slide? Before we go in further on the complementary model that I want to introduce during this presentation, so first of all, I would like to briefly just explain on the current economic structure. Yeah? Currently, like if we all know that we have, oh, this is not the latest slide. Yeah. Okay. Dr. Hafaz, sorry, this is not the latest slide, yeah, Dr. Hafaz?
Oh.
Can I have the latest slide? Or,
Is it?
Yeah, I think this is not the latest. Is it possible to change to the new one or how?
Yeah, I think I sent it to the committees.
Sorry, yeah, because I sent it late, yeah, the amendment version.
Okay, let me check first.
Can continue if
Iza, do you get the latest slide for Dr. Latifah?
is it possible, or if it is need, then it's okay. I can still continue with the slide.
I think just can continue because I think Afriza also has. This is the slide that he has currently.
Yes, one that I have, that the slide that you given to me, sir.
Okay, never mind. Okay, we can still proceed. Sorry, for the interruption.
Yeah.
We can go back to the slide to the need. Can we have the slide? Or... So, Afriza, maybe we can have the slide, previous slide. It's okay.
Okay.
Pak Friza, gimana bisa ditampilkan slide-nya Pak Friza? Yang tadi juga nggak apa-apa?
Bukan, slide-nya sama apa namanya, bucut, Pak Fas, sebentar.
Yang tadi aja nggak apa-apa. Slide tadi boleh juga Pak Friza.
Nah, tak apa, slide tadi boleh. Minta maaf ya.
Tadi saya tak sharing slide, yang sharing slide siapa tadi? Oke.
Oke. Okay, go to the second slide. Can we go to the next page? Okay, before this. I mean, before this slide. Okay. So currently we have modern economics where this is the latest slide. Okay, thank you. Okay, modern economics. So the private sector know that the ultimate objective is profitability, and the responsibility is to provide conducive environment for economic activities. And when it comes to social system, so public sector is a prime and private sector in minor sector. So by having this current economic structure, so we still facing the issues of development. Yeah, can we go to the next following slide, please? Following slide, the next slide. Okay, so we are still facing current issues, Islamic countries like poverty, income inequality, underutilization of resources. So these are the main issues, mostly in underdeveloped countries, yeah. And then like the structure. So if let's say we see from the context of Islamic economics, yeah. If we, can you go to the next slide? Okay, according to Chapra 1979, yeah, 1979, he gave that there are 4 objectives of Islamic economics. One is economics well-being within the framework of the moral norms of Islam. Second, universal brotherhood and justice. Third is equitable distribution of income. The fourth is freedom of the individual within context of social welfare. So the question is, with the current economic structure that we have now, did we achieve these 4 objectives? Yeah, are we able to reduce the inequality, reduce the poverty, yeah, all these issues raised, yeah. So at the end of the day, whatever system that we use, do we look into what is the ultimate objective of Islamic economics? Okay, we will discuss on this, yeah, what Malaysia has done to achieve the objectives of Islamic economics. Okay, can we go to the next slide? Okay, this is according to Dr. Halim Ismail. Yeah, I would just like to introduce this man. Yeah, so Dr. Halim Ismail, he's the first managing director of Bank Islam. So on his paper in 1986, yeah, he did mention that in Islamic economics we should divide the sector into 3. One is Siyasi sector, Tijari sector, and followed by Ijtimai sector. And in his paper, he mentioned that Tijari, since the objective is profit motive, so they focus on that. So Ijtimai is the sector that they have to do, in terms of like welfare. Can we go to the next slide? I will explain how he divided, yeah, the 3 sectors. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so he has divided that Siyasi, public sector, which includes state authority, laws and regulation. Tijari sector includes companies and banks. Meanwhile, Ijtimai sector includes charities, Bait al-Mal, Bait al-Zakah. So for him, Ijtimai sector will focus on charities, Bait al-Mal or Bait al-Zakah. Meanwhile, the Tijari sector will focus on whatever is their sole responsibility lah, yeah? And they are obviously like private sector, the ultimate objective is profit maximization. That is undeniable. Yeah. So in his, I would just like to say it here, yeah, small story. Yeah. So in 2014, this Datuk Dr. Abdul Halim Ismail, he won award in a global Islamic finance forum, which is organized by Central Bank of Malaysia. So he won award as one of the Islamic contribution on Islamic finance. So during in his speech, he said that the bank should implement such like he suggested like Sadaqah House, yeah, and he said the Islamic bank, the first Islamic bank in Malaysia, we have full-fledged. The first Islamic bank is Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, should start doing that. And he also mentioned the verses in Quran where he said that take arms out of their where is it? Okay. He said that Allah has permitted trade sale and forbidden usury, and Allah okay, it's okay. Okay, Allah has condemned usury and he blesses charities. So he uses these verses in Quran to explain why especially because he's from bank, yeah, why the bank should also do something like sadaqah, like charity also, yeah, like Tijari sector. So next slide, please. Okay. So Halim's model 1986 has been enhanced in order to cater the objective of Islamic economics introduced by Chapra. So our research team have enhanced the model in order how it can be, we can incorporate, it can achieve the objective of Islamic economics introduced by Chapra. The enhanced model is viable to be implemented in the current environment of economy. And also the model is expected to contribute to the economic development without compromising the objective of Islamic economics. So our center, when Dr. Abdul Halim Ismail, during his speech during Global Islamic Finance Forum, when he said that the bank also should focus on doing charity, even though most of the, like when we talk in the Islamic finance industry, they will say that bank is not a charity. Yeah, so because they are also like their ultimate objective also to look into the their ultimate objective also for the profit maximization. So what we did, our research center, we did research on Sadaqah House. So we see the viability of the implementation of Sadaqah House in banking sector. So this is the book. Yeah, we have also wrote a book on the viability of Sadaqah House, its viability in the Islamic banking framework. So, and then we finished the research during, we completed the research in 2017. And Alhamdulillah, during that time, our Central Bank of Malaysia have come up with one structural paper. It is called as value-based intermediation. So what is value-based intermediation? Value-based intermediation is an intermediation function that aims to deliver the intended outcomes of Sharia through practices, conduct, and offering that generate positive and sustainable impact to the economy, community, and environment, consistent with the shareholders' sustainable returns and long-term interests. So in this structural paper of value-based intermediation, we have 5 trusts here, and one of the trusts is the community empowerment. Community empowerment. And under community empowerment, so we can, under community empowerment, the examples that under community empowerment is the integration of wakaf and sedekah within Islamic financial transaction. So once we complete, we did this research with Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, and once we have completed the research in 2017, Alhamdulillah, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad has implemented Sedekah House Bank Islam in 2018. In 2018, and it was launched by the Governor of Central Bank of Malaysia during that time, yeah, in 2018. So, the next slide, please. So, when we came up with the Sedekah House, yeah, and then we feel when we come up with this, when Bank Islam come up with the Sedekah House Bank Islam, and it is proven that it is implementable in the banking sector, so we enhance the model of Dato' Abdul Halim Ismail. So we felt that actually this Tijari, Siasi, Ijtimai, each of the sector should complement each other. And we are not going to leave just for Ijtimai to implement the welfare part. So each of the sectors should complement each other. For example, like Tijari, they have to they can do social empowerment with together collaboration with Ijtimai sector to for the social empowerment, and then the Ijtimai sector will produce empowered society to the Tijari sector. And for example, like Siasi also, they can work together with the Ijtimai sector, NGOs and so forth for social empowerment, and they also produce the empowered society. Meanwhile, the government sector, they provide economic stability, and when the Tijari sector, they increase the growth of the country and also increase the national income. So when these sectors, they complement each other, they cooperate each other, at the end of the day, is it possible to achieve the objective of Islamic economics? And we found that based on what Bank Islam have done within these 2 years, so we found that when these 3 sectors complement, we are able to achieve this objective of Islamic economics. And also, so this circular model of Islamic economics, in terms of economic development, it reflects the comprehensive and integration of material and spiritual aspects, and it also focuses on the centrality of man. So it covers all. Can we go to the next slide? Can we go to the next slide? Okay, this is the example of how Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad has started with Sedekah House. Yeah, Bank Islam is the first one to implement Sedekah House Bank Islam as their services and also as one of their services in the bank. Yeah, it also can be called as their banking product. It's not a CSR. So the concept is like bank, they have a Sedekah House account. So the donor from the public and also bank itself provide some fund. I mean, provide donation to the Sedekah House. It's like what we call that. It is like okay. I mean, the fund, pool fund, crowdfunding. It's a concept of crowdfunding. And then the Sedekah fund, the money in the Sedekah fund will be invested. So the initial, it will return back to the Sedekah House account for the purpose of sustainability, and the profit will go to the beneficiaries. So who are the beneficiaries of Bank Islam? Bank Islam, their concept, they did like they select change maker. Change maker are the NGOs. For example, like one of their change maker for health is the Heart Institute of National Institute of okay, focuses on the heart disease, yeah, IJN, Institute of, what we call that? National Institute of Heart Malaysia. Okay, so they did they focus on the pediatric for kids, yeah, for any operation. So they do crowdfunding, and then they work with the foundation of IJN and foundation of IJN. So they have contributed a lot for this sector, yeah. And then also in terms of community, they help the indigenous people to come up with the electricity, because those indigenous people, they don't have electricity in the area, yeah, their area. So they worked, Bank Islam have worked with the university and they come up with the solar. And also they have worked with the, for example, for the community, they work with one of the state in Malaysia, in Kedah, for the single mother. They come out with, they empower the single mother so that they are able to self-sustain. And also in terms of education. So all this, it contributes to the development, and also it achieves the ultimate objective of Islamic economics, where the well-being of mankind. So they are not only focusing on the profit maximization, but they also contribute to the betterment of mankind. Yeah. And then the next project, next slide, please. Next.
Tolong slide berikutnya.
Yeah. So these are the example. Yeah, these are the single mothers where they are able to do their own business with the help, with the collaboration of the NGOs and also Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. This is the example lah. Yeah. Next slide, please. And also this is for the foundation of IJN for the hospital. They have contributed, Bank Islam have contributed 214,500, yeah, and then to help the patients, especially those kids who have heart problem, and they are from those who are not able to pay. Okay, next.
Slide berikutnya.
Yeah, slide berikutnya. And these are the example lah. Yeah, he is the current CEO of Bank Islam, and also Ustaz Nazri Sik, the head of strategic department of Bank Islam. Okay, next. Okay, this is for the indigenous people. They do not have the solar. So Bank Islam worked with the university to come up with the service, solar energy for these indigenous people in Malaysia. Next.
Berikutnya.
Berikutnya, ya. Okay, next. This is the photos, some of the photos, yeah, that what Bank Islam have contributed in collaboration with the NGOs. Next.
Berikutnya.
Okay, this is the second project of Bank Islam Malaysia, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. It is called as Sedekah Microfinance for Studentpreneurs. They are in the process of implementing this. Yeah, for example, for the students who are poor, they can do business in the university in order to make them sustain, to be able to pay the fees. Yeah, so Bank Islam will provide from the Sedekah Fund loan with the contract of court. So Bank Islam will help the students to do business in the university in order for them to self-sustain so that they are able to complete their studies. So this the students who are not able to continue further their studies because of no fund for education and so forth. So this is how it can help them to get education in the universities. Yeah. So this is one of the initiatives of Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, and they are going to start. And this will contribute to the economic growth as shown in the picture and also in the diagram. And also it contributes to the economic development and also complement the SDG: no poverty, zero hunger, quality education, and reduce inequalities. So if you see below, yeah, BIMB we considered as Tijari. So for this project, it's like complementing Ijtimai and Siasi, where it helps the government also to take care of the welfare of the people. So it is not that to say that bank, they cannot involve, yeah, I mean, contributing to the well-being of the mankind, yeah. And Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, the unique thing of Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, when they did for the Institute of Heart, yeah, Malaysia, yeah, National Institute of Heart Malaysia, they only not, I mean, their contribution is not only for Muslims, it is also for non-Muslims. So it really, like, it shows that the well-being of mankind, not necessarily they are Muslims, but Islam also, they take consideration the welfare of non-Muslims. So this is Islam. Yeah. So the bank, if normally when we talk to the bank, they will say they are not charity in giving all this, yeah, and the different organization. So it is proven by Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, the first Islamic, full-fledged Islamic bank in Malaysia, they can do something in order to contribute to the well-being. I think this is the concept that Tijari sector, especially private sector, should follow without just focusing on the profit maximization. You can take profit, but the ultimate objective should not be the profit maximization, should be for the well-being of mankind. And it is implementable and it is proven by what Bank Islam have achieved thus far. It's only 2 years they have implemented and they have achieved thus far. True Islam, the true spirit of Islamic economics. Yeah, and then I hope that in the future, all the banks in the Islamic finance, they follow. I mean, they can see that actually bank, they can do and they can achieve what is the main objective of Islamic economics. So the next slide. Next slide. Okay. In my conclusion here, I would like to say what we call that strongly. I would advocate the responsibility of sustaining the welfare of mankind is through participation and complement of each sector, since Islam views the mankind in its entirety. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Ms. Latifa. Maybe we're going to put the Q&A session for both of these, our honorable presenters, the last one, Prof. Muhaqiq and Dr. Latifa, to the end of the session. Okay. Now we would like to please Professor Muhammad Javad Muhaqiq Nia to give his speech.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Sorry, sir, just for a while. Because his speech will be in Persian, so it automatically will be translated, inshallah. Okay,
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. سلام عرض می‌کنم خدمت همه دوستانی که در این جلسه و این فضای مجازی حضور دارند.
Assalamu alaikum to all everyone who are already presented here in this beloved room.
آرزوی سلامتی دارم برای همه مردم دنیا و به خصوص برای همه مسلمان‌ها و دوستان حاضر در این فضای مجازی.
Hopefully Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be bestow you with the best health, with the tawfiq inayah in these good days.
و پیام دوستی و محبت رو از ایران به همه مسلمان‌های دنیا و خصوصا دوستان حاضر عرضه می‌کنم و امیدوارم که حال همه‌شون خوب باشه.
And I also would like to send the Iranian message, the Iranian friendly message to the citizen of the world, especially already present in these discussion rooms.
ایران به عنوان یکی از مهمترین کشورهای خاورمیانه شاید بتونیم بگیم که دومین کشور بزرگ از لحاظ وسعت و کشور پیشرو از بسیاری از جهات با داشتن 15 کشور در همسایگی خود و تسلط کامل بر شمال خلیج فارس و تنگه هرمز و داشتن 84 میلیون جمعیت عمدتاً جوان و اکثریت مطلق مسلمان جایگاه ویژه‌ای در منطقه جهان و دنیای اسلام دارد.
Iran is one of the most important country in Middle East, which has the second largest country in Middle East, and the first in term of land borders with the neighbor countries, and also Iran has 84 million population and mostly young, and 98% Muslims, and 60% of its population, the population is under 30 years old.
برای اینکه آشنا بشید با وضعیت اجتماعی، سیاسی و اقتصادی ایران، من فقط بعضی از جهات و زمینه‌ها رو خدمتتون عرض می‌کنم. ما در دنیا از منظر سلول‌های بنیادی و تحقیقاتی که در این زمینه انجام شده رتبه سوم رو داریم و جزو کشورهای بسیار پیشرو هستیم. فناوری
I don't want to enter to the political items here, the political matters. I just want to sign some of the Iranian success in technology and science, especially in nanotechnology and terms of technology.
رتبه چهارم در فناوری نانو رو داریم.
We are placed in the fourth rank of the nanotechnology in the world.
چهارمین کشور تولید کننده سیمان هستیم.
We are the fourth country in the world in the term of cement production.
رتبه پنجم در منابع انرژی دنیا رو داریم.
The fifth in natural resources sector.
هشتمین کشور تولید کننده میوه در جهان هستیم.
And the eighth in the steel industry and production.
هشتمین تولید کننده فولاد دنیا هستیم.
ادامه فرمایید.
هشتمین تولید کننده فولاد در دنیا.
گفتم.
و جزء 15 کشور برتر تولید کننده علم در دنیا هستیم.
And among the 15 countries in the world, in the developing country in the world. Tolong slide nomor 4.
رتبه 16 هم در علوم پزشکی رو داریم و در تولید ناخالص ملی رتبه 18 هم. اوکی؟
ادامه فرمایید. توی چیز داریم.
پس کشور ما کشور ویژه‌ای هستش و شاید بتونیم بگیم یکی از کشورهای مستقل دنیا یا جزء کشورهای برتر در استقلال ژئوپلیتیک و سیاسی و اقتصادی.
We are proudly proclaimed our country as most independent country in the world.
در حوزه مالی اقتصاد ایران تا الان یک اقتصاد بانک محور بوده و بیشترین حجم تأمین مالی توسط بانک ها صورت می‌پذیرد.
The Iranian financial system based on a banking-based financial system.
البته در ماه‌های اخیر به دلیل شرایط اقتصادی بورس و بازار سهام در ایران جایگاه خاصی پیدا کرده و مورد اقبال ویژه‌ای قرار گرفته از توسط مردم.
But unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, our economy somehow also under the influence of this pandemic.
تولید ناخالص ملی ایران چیزی نزدیک به 1500 بر اساس PPP تولید ناخالص ایران چیزی نزدیک به 1500 میلیارد دلاره که 18مین اقتصاد دنیا رو به خودش اختصاص داده. بله و تقریبا سهم هر بخش رو من در اقتصاد ایران و در تولید ناخالص داخلی در پاورپوینت آوردم. کشاورزی 8.9%، خدمات نزدیک 45%، صنعت نزدیک 20%، ساختمان 4% و نفت و گاز 15% و بقیه هم نزدیک 7-8% از تولید ناخالص ملی ایران رو به خودشون اختصاص دادن. این اطلاعات رو من دادم تا با اقتصاد ایران آشنا بشید و بدونید اقتصاد ایران یک اقتصاد پویا، یک اقتصاد رو به رشد و اکتیو هست.
The information is given to all of you, our brothers and sisters, just to make it clear that our economy is one of most dynamic economy in the world, and we have a lot of potentials in every sectors.
و علیرغم همه تحریم ها و فشارهایی که به ما اومده، ما تونستیم سر پا باشیم و پیشرفت بکنیم. ما اخیراً تونستیم ماهواره رو در فضا با تکنولوژی کاملا ایرانی قرار بدیم، چیزی که در میتونه مایه مباهات و افتخار دنیای اسلام باشه.
Due to all of kind of boycotts from some of the countries in the world, we are still able to launch our satellite and to make our progress in our science and technology.
خب از اقتصاد که بیایم بیرون، ما در مورد نظام بانکی امروز باید بگیم که نظام بانکی ما متشکل از بانک مرکزی هست که کاملا تحت مدیریت دولت قرار داره.
Slide نمبر 5.
چی فرمودید؟
ادامه فرمایید شما.
بله. پس بانک مرکزی تحت نظارت و مدیریت کامل دولت قرار داره. ما در کشورمون 3 بانک تجاری کاملا دولتی داریم که تحت مدیریت دولت به صورت کامل قرار دارن. 4 بانک تجاری نیمه دولتی داریم. 5 بانک تخصصی دولتی داریم در حوزه صنعت، در حوزه تعاون، در حوزه صادرات، در حوزه مسکن و در حوزه کشاورزی. این بانک‌های تخصصی ما در این حوزه هستن. اینو ترجمه کنید.
Okay. Currently, the banking system in Iran consists of the Central Bank of Iran under the monitoring of the government, 3 government commercial banks, 4 semi-government commercial banks, 5 specialized banks, development banks.
اینجا در چه حوزه‌هایی؟ در چه حوزه؟
18 private banks, 2 Qard al-Hasanah banks, and 5 private financial and credit institutions.
ویژگی‌های در واقع نظام مالی ایران اینه که ما در ایران 2 بانک کاملا قرض الحسنه داریم که شعب متعدد اینها در سراسر ایران دارن. شاید این 2 بانک نزدیک 1000 شعبه در سراسر ایران دارن که فقط کار قرض الحسنه انجام میدن.
In Iran we have two Qardul Hasanah banks. That's maybe one of the uniqueness of the Iranian banking system.
شاید یه پدیده‌ای باشه که بانک‌های قرض الحسنه تخصصی در فقط ایران یافت بشه.
Maybe it can be considered as a phenomenon in banking system that the Qardul Hasanah banks become and turn to be the specialized bank.
من اگر بخوام سابقه بانکداری در ایران اشاره بکنم، نزدیک سابقه بانکداری در ایران به 130 سال قبل برمیگرده و که خارجی ها در ایران اومدن بانک تأسیس کردن و عرضم به حضور شما که بانک ایران و انگلیس رو 130 سال پیش در ایران تأسیس کردن. اما بانک کاملا ایرانی رو ما تقریبا 100 ساله که داریم و سابقه تأسیس بانک مرکزیمون هم چیزی نزدیک 60 سال هست.
The history of the banking system in Iran had been existed since 130 years ago, but it's not fully Iranian banks. The full Iranian banks just been established around 100 years ago. But the central bank of Iran had been established 60 years ago.
قبل از پیروزی انقلاب یعنی نزدیک 40 سال پیش ما 28 بانک تجاری، 16 شرکت پسنداز و 2 شرکت پسنداز ملی داشتیم که با پیروزی انقلاب این بانک ها تقریبا همه ملی شدند و قریب نزدیک 22 سال حتی اینا کاملا به صورت دولتی اداره شدند. از تقریبا 18-19 سال پیش بانکداری خصوصی در ایران عرضم به حضور شما که مجوز گرفت و ما شاهد حضور بانک‌های خصوصی هم الان هستیم.
Before Islamic Revolution in Iran, there were 28 banks, which were 16 investment companies and 2 national investment companies. And after the revolution, the Islamic Revolution, all of these banks and institutions had been nationalized and become the government banks.
وقتی انقلاب پیروز شد، یکی از اولین خواسته های رهبر فقید جمهوری اسلامی امام خمینی حذف ربا از سیستم بانکی بود و ایشون اولین خواستشون از شورای انقلاب بحث حذف ربا بود.
After the Islamic Revolution, one of the most matters that used to be stressed by Imam Khomeini was to remove the riba from the banking system.
به خاطر همین بحث ربا در اولین جلسه شورای انقلاب مطرح شد و مصوب شد که ربا از سیستم حذف بشه و نرخ بهره حذف بشه.
That's why in the first meeting of the Revolution Council, the agenda of removing riba or usury from the banking system had been approved and start to be run in the banking system in Iran.
کار دومی که صورت گرفت تشکیل یک شورایی بود که در واقع اقدام بکنه به تدوین قانون بانکداری بدون ربا.
The second agenda in this mission was just to establish the council to remove riba from the banking system in Iran.
این شورا متشکل از فقها، اقتصاددانان، حقوقدانان و تجار بودند که 3 سال برای تدوین این قانون اینها وقت گذاشتند و قانون رو به مجلس شورای اسلامی وقت ارائه کردند.
The members of the shura or the council consists of the fuqaha, the businessmen, and the professors of the university.
و این قانون 1 سال در مجلس شورا مورد بحث قرار گرفت و سرانجام تصویب شد و ما تقریبا از سال 2000 تقریبا از سال 1985 عذرخواهی میکنم، از سال 1985 قانون بانکداری بدون ربا در کشورمون مصوب و اجرا شد و ما از سال 1985 هیچ بانک ربوی رو در ایران نداریم و تمام سیستم به صورت اسلامی داره فعالیت میکنه.
And the discussion to remove riba from the banking system in Iran took almost 5 years, since 1979. So by 1985, the regulation of non-interest banking system had been approved by the council, and since 1985 to until now, the Iranian banking system is a fully based on non-interest banking system.
و تقریبا ما بحث ربا رو دیگه به صورت رسمی نداریم در سیستم بانکی و عملیات بانکداری بدون ربا قریب به 35-6 ساله که داره اجرا میشه.
And approximately that we can claim the usurious concepts officially is not anymore considered as the issues in the banking system in Iran.
و رباخوری یک جرم حساب میشه در ایران و به شدت با اون برخورد میشه و قوه قضاییه با کسی که اقدام به این کار بکنه به شدت برخورد میکنه.
And taking or giving riba, or somehow can be said as committing riba, considered as kind of jinayah or unlawful things to be committed, and this will be pursued by the Iranian rule and regulation.
قانون بانکداری بدون ربا در ایران یه سری ویژگی ها داره که من به برخی از اونها اشاره میکنم. ویژگی اول این قانون این هستش که این قانون برگرفته شده از افکار شهید محمد باقر صدر در کتاب البنک اللاربوی هست، چرا که در این کمیته‌ای که این قانون رو تدوین کرد یکی از شاگردان مبرز شهید صدر مرحوم آیت الله شاهرودی حضور داشتن و همون دیدگاه ها رو در این قانون وارد کردن و البته توسعه دادن.
The banking system rule and the regulation in Iran is disguised from the other rule and regulation in the world, and one of those point that the rules and regulation was deeply influenced by Shahid Sadr, or maybe is well known as Muhammad Baqir Sadr, through his student Ayatollah Shahrudi, that was one of the member of the council.
نکته دوم در مورد این قانون این هستش که این قانون تلاشش بر این بود که ربا رو از سیستم بانکی حذف بکنه، اما کاری که کردن با مهندسی معکوس در مورد فعالیت‌های بانک تجاری سعی کردن که روند فعالیت‌های بانک تجاری حفظ بشه و ربا با کمترین هزینه‌ای حذف بشه.
Actually, the main purpose of the regulation was to remove riba from the operational system of the bank. But what we had done, just the reverse engineering, means in the commercial banks, we just try to lower the cost and to eliminating the usurious activities projects from the commercial banks.
این نکته خیلی مهمیه. من این قانون رو در زمان خودش یک قانون پیشرفته میدونم، ولی خب امروز ما بعد از 35-6 سال داریم صحبت میکنیم در مورد این قانون. و انتظار ما اینه که این قانون توسعه پیدا بکنه و پیشرفت بکنه، رو به جلو باشه.
I do believe this rule, this قانون at that times was considered as one of most advantageous rules and regulation. But now after 35 years, I believe that we have to do more to improve this قانون.
به خاطر همین تو این قانون و آیین‌نامه‌های مکمل اون برای اینکه روند فعالیت بانک تجاری دچار اخلال نشه و ربا هم حذف بشه، از عقود مکملی مثل صلح، عقد خارج لازم و امثالهم استفاده کردن و بعضاً عقود رو به صورت موازی، یعنی دو طرفه اجرا کردن. مثلا جعاله، حالا مثال میزنم شما ترجمه کنید.
ایدومه فرق استاد چون ارتباط با هم میشه.
مثلا جعاله رو به صورت موازی اجرا میکنن، سلف رو به صورت موازی اجرا میکنن، استثناء که بعداً چیز شد به صورت موازی اجرا میکنن. یا مثلا فرض بکنید که کنار مزاربه میان عقد صلح قرار میدن، کنار ارزم به حضور شما وکالت میان عقد خارج لازم یا عقد صلح قرار میدن تا اون در واقع روندی که در بانکداری تجاری هست حفظ بشه.
The main purpose of reverse engineering in this field just to make clear that the activities of commercial bank still clear, and what we do here just to make it become parallel in practice means, like for example mudarabah. Beside mudarabah, we just apply the act of sulh, for example, or in istisna as well, like that, and in the aqad of salaf, for example.
خب باید این در اذهان مردم درست بشه که این عقدهای مکمل یا عقدهای بیرون از قرارداد اصلی باعث شده مردم فکر بکنن بعضن که این قراردادها سودی هستن.
We have tried that this kind of قانون mean to put the aqad mukammel beside of the real aqad, of the main aqad of the contract, that the people society accept it as a kind of what we call it as a second aqad beside of the real aqad. ادامه فرمایید.
صحبت کنم من یا شما صحبت میکنید؟
ادامه
من صحبت کنم. بله. اخیراً در ایران اقدامات گسترده‌ای صورت گرفت.
sebelumnya.
اخیراً در ایران اقدامات زیادی صورت گرفته برای اینکه این قانون بازنویسی بشه، اصلاح بشه و رو به جلو بره.
No, in Iran we have tried to improve the قانون and to update it accordingly to be suitable to
طرح‌هایی در مجلس اسلامی تهیه شده.
Financial activities.
طرح‌هایی در مجلس شورای اسلامی طراحی شده برای اینکه این قانون اصلاح بشه و امید هست که این طرح‌ها به تصویب نهایی برسه.
We already applied to Shura Islami to reform the قانون to be able to the current situation, to the current financial situation in our society.
حوزه‌های علمیه و دانشگاه‌های ما توی این زمینه فعال شدن. جلسات زیادی توی این نهادها برگزار شده برای اینکه کمک بکنه به اصلاح بهتر این قانون.
Our educational institutions such as the universities in Iran actively take part in this reforming process.
البته سلیقه‌ها متفاوته و خب اجماع کافی شاید برای اینکه یک قانون مثلا خاص پیشنهاد بشه شاید نباشه، اما هر گروهی سعی میکنه که قانون و یا اصلاحات مد نظر خودش رو مطرح بکنه.
Yes, I do believe there's a different tests, a different approachment over there, but I do believe we will move together to reform this قانون.
در قانون بانکداری بدون ربا که تقریبا 35 سال از عمرش میگذره، ما در بخش تجهیز دو در واقع نوع تجهیز داریم، یکی تجهیز انتفاعی و یکی هم غیر انتفاعی. شاید یکی از ویژگی‌های قانون بانکداری بدون ربا در ایران این باشه که ما تجهیز قرض الحسنه رو فقط در ایران داریم یا در کشورهای خیلی خاص داریم. قرض الحسنه در نظام بانکی ایران جایگاه خودش رو داره، پیدا کرده این جایگاه رو و ریشه دوانده و تثبیت شده بحث قرض الحسنه در ایران.
In our Islamic banking system regulation, we have two kind of fund mobilization models. The first non-commercial and second one the commercial. And in the commercial and non-commercial sectors, the fund mobilization is done toward the Qardul Hasana contract.
شاید سابقا در دنیا سابقه نداشته باشه که به جوانانی که ازدواج میکنن به هر دو طرف، یعنی هم خانم و هم آقا، مبلغ قابل توجهی به صورت قرض الحسنه یعنی با نرخ بهره صفر پرداخت میشه تا بتونن مقدمات ازدواجشون رو فراهم کنن.
I do believe that it cannot be found in the other point of this world that to every pair who want to get married, the Qardul Hasana contract just facilitate them with the kind of loans, but Qardul Hasana loans, not considered as loan.
و این به بیش از 1 میلیون ازدواج در سال پرداخت میشه، یعنی به
And the Qardul Hasana loans in Iran is
تقریبا 2 میلیون نفر در سال این تسهیلات پرداخت میشه.
More than 1 million cases a year.
1 million cases and 2 million person. 2 million.
Yes. Automatically 2 million persons.
Okay. و خب این هم بین مردم مورد استقبال قرار گرفته و همین کارایی بانکداری اسلامی رو نشون میده.
I do believe Qardul Hasana can be the benchmark of the Islamic banking activities.
در بخش انتفاعی ما از قرارداد وکالت عام و پرداخت سود علل حساب استفاده می‌کنیم که این سود علل حساب اگر بخوایم انتقادی در موردش صحبت بکنیم در بسیاری از موارد به صورت دقیق اجرا نشده.
In the commercial form, the loan will be given through the Wikalatul Am contract.
من فکر میکنم برای اجرای دقیق این نکته و در واقع محاسبه سود واقعی علل حساب شاید نیاز به یک تغییرات ساختاری در این زمینه داشته باشیم.
Yes, this we have to improve the system, the technical system to calculate the halal hisab profit.
پایان نامه‌های زیادی رو من خودم در دانشگاه علامه هدایت و راهنمایی کردم در مورد همین موضوع که سود علل حساب چگونه میتونه به صورت واقعی پرداخت بشه.
I have got a lot of tests and dissertations in this field on how to calculate the halal hisab profit detailing.
خب البته مسئولین اجرایی و بعضا بانک‌ها شاید استقبال نکنن، اما امیدواریم که در شاید 1-2 سال آینده اینها عملیاتی بشه.
Probably this phenomenon, these topics could not be welcome warmly by the financial institution, but hopefully it can be applied and applicable after 2 years.
در بخش تخصیص هم باز ما وام‌های قرض الحسنه رو به صورت وام‌های غیر انتفاعی داریم. این هم یک همونطور که قبلا هم عرض کردم یک پدیده است و جایگاه خیلی خوبی داره که به موضوع اشاره کردم.
And the other side, in the fund utilization, we have also the Qard al-Hasanah loans as the non-commercial loans.
تسهیلات با عقود مبادله‌ای و نرخ ثابت رو داریم که متشکل از مرابحه، اجاره به شرط تملیک، سلف، جعاله، استثناء و خرید دین هست.
We also utilize the fund through the mubadalah such as murabaha, ijarah bi syart tamlik, salaf, ju'alah, istisna and bai'dain.
سهم اینها امروزه از تسهیلات بانک ها چیزی نزدیک به 45% یا شاید کمتر از تسهیلات بانک ها به صورت عقود مبادله‌ای پرداخت میشه.
More than 40% the banks given through the mubadalah contracts.
10% به صورت قرض الحسنه پرداخت میشه.
10% through the Qard al-Hasanah.
و تسهیلات مشارکتی یا عقود مشارکتی هم حدود 45%.
And 45% given by musharakah.
خب ما در جامعه دانشگاهی و اجرایی کشور اعتقاد داریم که نکات و نقاط زیادی برای پیشرفت و اصلاح این قانون وجود داره و تمام تلاشمون رو داریم میکنیم که اصلاحات در این قانون اصلاحات اساسی و ساختاری باشه.
We do believe that we need to improve this regulation and qanun to be updated and with the today's financial system situation. آقا فکر کنم وقت شما تمام شد.
خب فقط من این رو بگم که بانکداری اسلامی، آخرین نکته که عرض میکنم، بانکداری اسلامی یک فرایند دو طرفه است. بانکداری اسلامی در بستر یک جامعه‌ای قابل اجرا است که متخلق باشه به اخلاق اسلامی.
I just want to give my last words here that the Islamic banking system supposed to be applied in two-side society behavior systems. Mean the Islamic banking can be applied in the Islamic society as well. Mean the akhlaq of Islamic banking system are applicable in the Islamic society with the Islamic akhlaq as well. Thank you, sir.
خیلی ممنون از وقتی که گذاشتید. تشکر میکنم. امیدوارم مطالبی که گفتم علیرغم وقت کم مفید بوده باشه و وقت شما رو من از بین نبرده باشه.
Thank you very much for the chance and for the time, and hopefully the topic is given by me is beneficial for me myself, even it's very short time here, and I need your ideas in this room. Okay.
از برگزار کنندگان این همایش به خصوص شخص آقای افریزا هم تشکر میکنم که این فرصت رو فراهم کرد برای اینکه من در خدمتتون باشم. خیلی ایشون زحمت زیادی کشید.
I also need to thank all the organizers this program, especially all of you, my brother and sister here. Okay, we'll open the Q&A session right now. Maybe firstly, we will have the question for Dr. Latifa.
Yes.
Okay, sir, this is your question, sir. Been asked by Mr. Saiful Mahdi. You just need to answer your part, doctor. I mean the Malaysian part.
Okay.
why do you think Indonesia is behind in halal economy compared to its neighboring countries like Malaysia and or even Thailand, a non-majority Muslim country?
Why Indonesia is higher in terms of halal industry compared to Malaysia?
Yeah.
Yeah. At first, Malaysia was higher.
Sorry, Miss. I mean, do you agree with that or not?
Yeah, I agree. When Malaysia started with halal industry, Malaysia was the top at earlier part. And then I think maybe in between the growth, especially during this time also the Thailand with the non-minority Muslim countries, the halal is one of the top in Thailand. Yeah? And also now I think recently Indonesia, it's going up on the halal industry, right? Compared to Malaysia.
Yeah.
So at first, Malaysia kickstart, and then the other countries took over, like Indonesia and Thailand. So I agree with that, yes.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Latifa. And second one, doctor, is also for you. Asked by Haji Irfan Shahputra, SAMSC. How to make Islamic economy as domain system in an area or country?
Okay, someone has to start first. Example, yeah, like when we want to implement, when we come up with the Bank Islam Sedekah House, yeah, all the banks say we are not charity, we cannot implement this Sedekah House project in our bank, yeah. But then when the bank, when the Central Bank of Malaysia come up with the value-based intermediation structural paper where it allows bank to contribute in the welfare in like in wakaf and also in sadaqah, yeah, especially in terms of empowering the society. So it comes to when the policy that made by the government supports, yeah, and also the initiative of the sectors, it can be implemented in the country. It also, the important is the policy of the government, and also like for example, like in Bank Islam, they started to do this Bank Islam Sadaqah House Bank Islam when value-based implementation policy paper was introduced by Central Bank of Malaysia.
And the Indonesian part, I think is supposed to be answered by Dr. Hafaz Furqani, because Dr. Sultan is not longer with us right now. Dr. Hafaz, why do you think Indonesia is behind in halal economy compared to its neighboring countries like Malaysia?
Okay, thank you very much. I think, yeah, this is supposed to be answered by Dr. Sultan Emir. Yeah? But yeah, as far as I know, Indonesia is the biggest market for halal economy, yeah? For halal products and halal food and etc. But unfortunately, in terms of yeah, producing the halal products, we are lacking. We are still lacking. Yeah? As compared to Thailand, for example, Thailand is now leading because of they develop a very good system for halal certifications. Yeah? They develop also a very good lab to check the halal, to assure the halal process and etc. So Indonesia is currently still trying to fix or to settle some of the problems. Yeah? And Indonesia has also developed specific bodies for this, which is BPJPH, yeah? Badan Jaminan Produk Halal. So I believe in the next couple years, I think Indonesia will solve the problems in halal certification, halal process, and halal assurance, and will try to lead as compared to Thailand or Malaysia. So the current problem is that the system is not settled yet, it's not ready yet. And Indonesia has to fix this problem first before it can move further. So we will wait for the next 3 years because we have KNKS currently. KNKS is the national committee bodies to harmonize all the regulations, and to synergize and to coordinate the development of Islamic economics and finance in the country. Yeah, so I believe some changes we will see in the future.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hafaz. And this question is asked to Professor Muhammad Jawad Muhaqqiq Nia. I'll translate it to the Persian. Ajau Muhaqqiq Nia. Oyo dar Iran, aqde muqarasah, aqde muzara'ah, aqde mukhabarah, dar zamine keshwarzi, و چی میگن توسعه اجرا میشود یا نه؟
تقریبا سهمش صفره.
جانم
تقریبا سهم این عقود صفره و تقریبا بانک ها از این استفاده نمی کنن. اخیراً اوراق این در بازار، یعنی اوراق مساقات و اوراق مزارعه در بازار سهام منتشر شد، یکی دو مورد و طراحی شده چارچوب و پلنش در واقع آماده شده و استفاده شده در بازار سهام با اوراق سکوک مزارعه. اما در سیستم بانکی تقریبا سهمش صفر.
The question was asked by Purbawati Setyaningsi. Assalamualaikum, Professor Muhammad Jawad Muhaqqiq Nia. Does in Iran apply aqad al-muqarasah, al-mudara'ah, or al-mukhabarah for agricultural development and also infrastructure irrigation project for financing system or financing them? The answer is not at all. The percentage of the bond of this kind of contract is almost zero. Means we did not have applied this kind of bonds in our market. Thank you, Mr. Muhaqqiq Nia. Dr. Latifa.
Yes.
This question was asked by Ms. Isnihaya Binumbaran from our neighboring country, the Philippines. To Mam Latifa, Assalamualaikum. Do you consider citizen participation in empowering the economic growth of Malaysia? And what has been their role and contribution in this success?
Okay, the role and success. Yeah, again the question. Wait, very.
The first part of the question is: do you consider citizen participation in empowering the economic growth of Malaysia?
Yes. Participation of empowering economic growth, of course, yeah. How we increase the growth through consumption, right? Yeah. So let's say, for example, if we empower the citizen, and then they can get job, right? From the job, they get salary. From the salary, they spend. When they spend, it will increase the economic growth of the country.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor.
Then,
okay, go ahead, sir. Miss.
And, what has been their role and contribution in the success? Because once they are empowered, they're able to self-sustain. When they're able to self-sustain, they're able to contribute to the growth of the economy in the country.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am. To Dr. Hafaz, what do you think about Islamic men in economy?
Is it really for me or for Dr. Latifa or Dr. Muhaqqiq?
I think it is asked for both.
Okay, Dr. Hafaz, you can answer, no problem. Sorry. It's okay.
آقای افریزا، ما در ایران وقت نماز شده، میخوایم بریم نماز. تا کی ادامه داره این داستان؟
Inshallah, after 30 minutes, sir, we'll close it.
نیم ساعت.
Yes, Professor Muhaqqiq told me that there's already the prayer time in Iran right now, Zuhr prayer. So should we continue it or?
I think I think Dr. Afriza can give a question to Prof. Muhaqqiq and then give some conclusions, and then we'll continue with Dr. Latifa.
Okay. Pas Joko in akhirin soal ikam sahbut khudesna tunestan jawab idam migan bishmo befres bepur asma bepursa ba shumo natije giri be farmi roje beso patun ba shumo mitune namas mohone. Okay, Mr. Muhaqqiq, asked by Nofilia Aisa, what do you think about Islamic men in Islam? نظر شما راجع به مرد اقتصادی از نظر اسلام چی هست؟
ببینید اسلام شامل چند حوزه میشه. ما اول اینو باید متوجه باشیم. یک حوزه باورهاست، عقاید و باورهاست. حوزه دوم
consists of so many fields. The first of all is the ideology and belief.
حوزه دوم بحث فقه و اخلاق، فقه هست، فقه و حقوق هست.
The second one, the fiqh, law, or jurisprudence, and
حوزه سوم اخلاق هست.
So the third one is akhlaq.
فرق فقه و اخلاق چیه؟
The difference between fiqh and akhlaq is
این هستش که فقه حداقل ها رو به ما میگه ولی اخلاق حد اکثر ها رو به ما میگه.
اخلاق
ماکسیموم رو میگه و فقه مینیموم رو میگه.
Okay, the fiqh just give us the minimum things. I mean the bordered as the minimum thing, but the akhlaq the maximum one.
خب حالا مرد اقتصادی مسلمان کسیه که باورش، عقایدش اسلامی باشه، خدا رو در واقع همه چیز بدونه، بگه منشأ همه چیز خداست، برگشت همه چیز هم به خداست.
The economy man in Islam is first his ideology is absolutely based on the oneness of God, and he or she does believe that everything will be returned to the God.
و خدا ارادش بر همه چیز غلبه میکنه.
And the wills of God is dominant over the all of kind, I mean the makhluqat wills.
و خدا بر همه چیز تواناست.
And God most power existences in this world.
این در واقع در حوزه عقاید هست. رفتارهای او هم بر اساس هنجارهای فقهی و اخلاقی بنا گذاشته شده باشه.
Thus his behavior is supposed to be according to this limitation and bordering which is given by fiqh and akhlaq as well.
به نظر من اینجا اخلاق جایگاه ویژه‌ای داره.
I do believe that the moral and ethics has the special position in this field.
گزاره‌های اخلاقی در حوزه اقتصاد گزاره‌های جالب و زیادی هستند.
And the akhlaq matters and the akhlaq aspects in economic items, I do believe this has a lot of aspects and dimensions.
گزاره‌هایی مثل ایثار.
It's like ایثار به انگلیسی چی میشه؟ Sacrifice.
و یؤثرون علی انفسهم ولو کان بهم خصاصه. آیه قرآن دیگه، این یکی از آیات قرآن.
One of the manifestation of the man in Islamic economy. The first that's been recited by him.
خب پس مرد مسلمان اقتصادی مردیه که اعتقاد به خدا داشته باشه، رفتارش هم بر اساس هنجارهای اقتصادی بنا شده باشه.
So the economy man in Islam is the one who believe in God, and his economy behavior is accordingly to the economic interests and needs, but in the same time he does believe to the gods.
اگر اعتقاد به خدا داشته باشه میدونه که ایمان و تقوا باعث نزول برکت میشه.
If he does believe to the God, he will find, he will receive, he will realize that iman and taqwa is resources of all of kind of barakat in this world.
ولو ان اهل القرى آمنوا واتقوا لفتحنا عليهم برکات من السماء والارض. این نشونه اینه که ایمان و تقوا باعث میشه درهای زمین و آسمان باز بشه.
The previous verse shown that the taqwa and iman will affect the door of the heaven to be open to the earth.
و در حوزه رفتار خودش اخلاقی عمل میکنه.
At the same time, in the field of his behaviors, also put the akhlaq and moral as his base in his behavior.
نه برای اینکه وجدانش رو راضی کنه.
Not to satisfy his ego.
بلکه برای اینکه خدا رو راضی کنه.
But for sake of the God.
از نون خودش میگذره و یطعمون الطعام علی حبه مسکینا و یتیما و اسیرا. به خاطر خدا طعام خودش رو، غذای خودش رو به دیگری میده و خودش گرسنه میمونه. این میشه یک مرد مسلمان و مرد اقتصادی مسلمان.
For sake of the Almighty God, He will give His own food to the other. This is the manifestation of the economy man in Islam. خب نتیجه گیری فرمایید.
پس مرد اقتصادی مسلمان یک چیز سه جانبه داره، یک در واقع شکل سه جانبه داره، متأثر از سه حوزه هستش.
If we can illustrate, the illustration of economy man in Islam is like three-dimension things, which is ideology, belief,
fiqh,
jurisprudence,
akhlaq,
and moral, ethics. Thank you, sir. Okay. Thank you very much for joining our discussion today, Professor Muhakkik. Inshallah. Okay. Inshallah, all of the topics will be that had been given by you will be beneficial for all of us. Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
ممنون. Inshallah موفق باشید. خدا نگهدار.
Khuda Hafiz. Khuda Hafiz mean goodbye in Persian.
Goodbye.
Khuda Hafiz. Okay. Thank you.
Shukran, Prof. Muhakkik. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Okay, now it's your turn, Dr. Hafaz.
Inshallah, see you in Iran.
Inshallah, see you in Iran.
Inshallah, inshallah.
Inshallah. I imitated you.
Okay, Dr. Hafaz, would you please?
Okay, I think what the Prof. Muhakkik has answered is very good answer to these questions. How we define Islamic man in Islamic economy. Yeah? So we cannot I think we cannot remove Islamic man from three dimensions, as he's mentioned just now. And that characterize Islamic man as compared to the Homo economicus or economic man. First is in terms of faith, ideology, aqidah, and then the second is about rules in fiqh, rules of the game. So we have to observe also these things in our economic behavior. And then the third is akhlaq, or the dimension of ethics. So in conventional economics, they reduce, or there is a reductionist in conceptualizing the economic man. So economic man in conventional economy is only seen as a material being. So he is a material being and being very individualistic, looking only for his own self-interest with self-goals, which is to maximize his own utility. So the dimension of ethics has been removed in this perspective. And this shouldn't be the case for Islamic economics man. So if we looking back at the models that mentioned just now by Dr. Latifa, she presented us about how we can combine, how we can integrate the commercial dimensions, and then the tijari, and then the ijtimai, the social dimensions. This could only be done if we have a human being who will be able to do this at the same time. So this is only possible in the case of Islamic man. For conventional economic man or for homo economicus, this shouldn't, of course, this cannot be applied because the commercial dimensions or the is out of the scope with regard to the social dimension. So the model just now can be only applied if we have an Islamic, the real Islamic man. So I think we have to define our Islamic man in a comprehensive perspective, so that our model can be applied in the real life. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hafaz. And next question from Dr. Naim Majid to Dr. Latifah. Ma'am, please advise how the Sadaqah House ensures its main objective is achieved properly without any profit tendency in the economics and business circles generally. Is really well-being oriented? What the profit kind of taking in? Thank you, ma'am. Oh, please unmute your microphone.
Okay, thank you for the question. Okay, currently, how the implementation in Bank Islam, they are not taking any commissions or profit for this initiative, Bank Sedekah House Bank Islam. So it's like when they do these initiatives, there is no any profit tendency, and also it is like it because in a bank they have CSR. CSR is different compared this Sedekah House Bank Islam. Sedekah Bank CSR, you get exemption of tax. And also you get exemption of tax, and also it shows that it's optional for the bank whether they want to involve in CSR or not. But this Sedekah House Bank Islam, they took initiative, and their intention is to contribute to the welfare of the people or well-being of the mankind. And until today, after 2 years implementation, they don't have any, they don't take any commissions or profit out of it. So when then in the economic and business cycle, main objective properly, yes. I think when the way of Bank Islam implementing now, I think it's the real way of like solely to contribute to the welfare of the mankind, and it's really well-being, for the well-being of mankind, and there is no profit taking, there is no profit involved in doing this kind in Sedekah House Bank Islam.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Next question is only to you. Is also to you, ma'am. From Mr. Jin Hoyam. Dr. Latifah, please advise what is the concept of collaboration can support the growth of the Islamic economy in Indonesia?
Concept of growth, for example, like I introduced the complementary model, between public, private, and also ijtimai. But if let's say you are in an Islamic country and the government can come up with a policy relating to the main objective is to for the mankind of the people, I think it can be done. And then for example, like Indonesia, I think the policy should come from the government first. For example, like central bank in Malaysia, they introduce the value-based intermediation. So they allow the bank to participate, and the first one who kickstart the is Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. So it is possible, but then it should start from the policy of the government. If the policy of the government emphasize and encourage, I think, inshallah, back to Islamic economics. I think if the country is a Muslim country, it can be done. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
This is my point of view here. I mean, this is my point of view.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Dear brothers and sisters, I apologize. There are a lot of questions here. So automatically, because of we are limited by times, we could not answer of the question. But I would like to ask or to guide the last question is supposed to be Mr. Sultan questions or Prof. Muhakkik question, but I will guide it to Brother Dr. Hafaz Furqani. How to apply the Islamic economy in our capitalist situation right now in the world?
Okay, that is a very difficult question. So currently, the dominant system in the world is the capitalist economic system. And the one that try to challenge this system is known as the socialist economic system. And after that, Islamic economic system is try also to challenge. But our movement is still very, what I can say is a still very tiny, I think. So this dominant system, the capitalist economic system, is also trying to drag Islamic economic system into the dominant paradigm. So the hegemony, we can still feel the hegemony of capitalist economic system. And that's why if we try to develop Islamic economic system to be an alternative or to challenge the capitalist economic system, we have to do it by strengthening our foundation of Islamic economics. Otherwise, we cannot challenge the capitalist economic system. What I mean by the foundation is that we need to have a solid foundation for the scientific Islamic economics that develop the concepts, the theories, and then we need to have a solid foundation for an Islamic economic system to be built on. So these are the things that we have to prepare first before we are able to challenge the capitalist economic system. And if we look at the trend currently, how we do Islamic economy is that by trying to Islamize the capitalist financial system or the capitalist economic system. So we have, for example, banking. We try to Islamize the banking system. And then we have conventional insurance. We have the conventional capital market. We try to Islamize it. So the trend currently is that Islamization of this conventional financial system is only touch the formalistic dimensions. So this is what Prof. Muhakkik just now mentioned about the reverse engineering. What he means by reverse engineering is that we try to Islamize all these things by removing the prohibitive dimensions found in the conventional financial systems. So we remove all the prohibited dimensions, for example, riba, maisir, and gharar. So after removing that, actually what we have to do is to apply or to fill in with the positive dimensions, to install ethics in the systems, to install Islamic ethics in the conventional finance system, but that is still lacking. So we are still focusing on the legal dimensions. We are currently very successful, whereby we are no longer now see riba in the system, no longer see maisir or gharar in the system, but in terms of putting the positive dimensions in terms of ethics, in terms of social justice in the system, in terms of transparency, so that are still lacking in our effort. So to do that, I think we have to shift our paradigm in how we can develop our Islamic economic system. So in the next phases, I think some countries such as Malaysia, they are now talking about the value-based finance, right, Dr. Latifah? And also in Turkey, they are trying to develop the participatory system. So these are the movement whereby we want to manifest or to make our Islamic ethics becomes more obvious. And the people of the world are keen in looking at the good financial system. So not only the right finance, but also the good finance or the good economic system. So Islamic economic have to do that.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hafaz Furqani. Thank you very much, Madam Dr. Latifa. And
Thank you very much also to the organizer, Dr. Hafaz. Thank you very much for inviting me, and also to the university. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Latifa.
Before we enter to the closing remark, I would like to remind our attendees today that the certificate will be directly sent to the email, which is used by when you registered to the program, to our webinar. And to achieve the slides or PowerPoint, you can scan the code on the certificate. Okay, thank you very much. One more again to all of attendants and presenters here, especially to Mr. Professor Dr. Muhammad Jawad Muhakkiknia, Dr. Sultan, Dr. Sultan Emir Hidayat, Dr. Latifa Bibi binti Muzaffar Hamid, and Dr. Hafaz Furqani. I would like to please Dr. Hafaz Furqani to give his closing remark today.
Yeah, again, I would like to thanks to the firstly to the moderators, Afriza Salahuddin, who are very outstanding today. He can speak English as well as Persian. So we are lucky to have here teaching at our university. So this expand our horizon on how to develop Islamic economics. And also to the our Islamic Economic Department or Prodi Program Studi Ekonomi Syariah, Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Islam as the host for this event today. So we hope to have another program like this so that it can bring benefits to all of us. So we can have very fruitful knowledge for today. Thank you for also for the presenters, for the speakers, Dr. Latifa Bibi, for her wonderful presentations that introduce how we can integrate the commercials, the social dimension in Islamic finance model. So this should be replicated in Indonesia as well as in the other countries. And also to Dr. Sultan Emir, who has left us. So he gave us a message just now that if you want to ask some questions, yeah, you can just contact our numbers, and we can give Dr. Sultan Emir numbers also, handphone number, and also to Dr. Muhakkik Nia. So this is the first time our collaboration with the Iranian universities. Thank you very much for Prof. Muhakkik, and thanks for the participants also. Hopefully you enjoy the program and benefits from the knowledge we gain today. Last but not least, let us say hamdalah and tasbih kifar. And assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hafaz. On behalf of the organizer, there's a lot of people who are involved today behind screen. And finally, I would like to say sorry for all of inconveniences today, especially and the starting of the programs. And the last word from me, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.